Kristocentric.com. Kristocentric Station, the Kingdom Promoter. For 24/7 soul edifying content, this is Kristocentric Station, playing at Kristocentric.com. Kristocentric Station, the Kingdom Promoter.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another edition of the Kristocentric News live on the Kristocentric Station. We are broadcasting from Accra, Ghana, and I'm your Christian news anchor, YEBOAH Edwin Takyi. Today, we're discussing a topic that has been plaguing the world and even the African continent, and that is human trafficking. Before we head into our interview for this, let me just tell you what exactly we've been dealing with. Between 2008 and 2023, the number of officially identified human trafficking victims jumped from roughly 30,000 to nearly 134,000, despite global efforts to combat it. And this surge isn't just worldwide, it's especially pronounced in Africa, where victims are often traversed across the continent and beyond, accounting for 31% of detected cross-border flows, with children constituting nearly 31% and women making up that 31%. Today, trafficking remains a hidden yet rapidly growing crime fueled by conflict, climate shifts, and fragile systems, demanding our urgent attention. We have with us in the studio to give us data about human trafficking in Ghana, two key officials from the Ghana Immigration Service, specifically the ASHTIP unit, and they are DSI Yusuf Misbahu and DSI Diana Mensah. Good evening. I hope you're doing well.
Sure.
Amazing. So I'd like to head straight into the questions.
Okay.
I mentioned the ASHTIP unit, right?
Yes.
What is it? For those who don't know.
Okay. So ASTIP means Anti-Human Smuggling and Trafficking in Persons Unit. That's AHSTIP. Yeah.
Okay. What is human trafficking?
Okay. So human trafficking. Let me use what the Act says. The Human Trafficking Act 2005, Act 694. So it says, or it defines human trafficking as the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, trade, or receipt of persons within and across national borders by use of force, threat, coercion, fraud, abduction, deception, abuse of power, or exploitation of vulnerability, or giving or receiving payment and benefits to achieve consent. Yes.
So I've been seeing human trafficking and I've been seeing human smuggling.
Okay.
What is human smuggling? And is there a difference between human trafficking and human smuggling?
Okay. So human smuggling, or let's say migrant smuggling, that's the term we normally use for it, is the facilitation of the unlawful entry or departure from the country of a person in order to obtain directly or indirectly a financial or other material benefits. These are just definitions that I have given. But if we have more time, then we explain into detail so that as law enforcement authorities or bodies, if you find yourself in any situation, you know that if the law catches you, these are the yardsticks by which you are going to be measured by, or this is what we are going to use to, let me say, crack the whip.
Okay. Or you can go into it. If you want to give a little explanation, you can.
So let's go back to the trafficking, the recruitment, transportation. So recruitment, someone approaches you and tells you, oh, okay, there's this opportunity in this country, there's this opportunity here and there, and I would like you to come on board. You have been recruited. And then let's say the transportation too. You know, sometimes after the recruitment, let me say most of the cases we see, which are from Nigeria, the kids, or let me say, yeah, most of them are kids, but let's say the persons are recruited from their country. Someone approaches you, oh, there's this opportunity here, there's this greener pasture somewhere. You have been recruited. They transport you. Sometimes the people who recruit are not the people who transport. So someone recruits, they hand you over. It's a chain, it's a network. So you are recruited, they hand you over to someone to do the transportation. So most of the time, these are drivers who ply the Flower Road. They do the transportation most of the time. Someone can say, oh, please take this girl to this person for me. You may not know where the girl is coming from, but if you are found with someone like that, you are, as the law says, you are transporting a person who is going to be trafficked. After investigations, you can be jailed. So yeah, that's for the transportation. Then the transfer, they can also hand over, okay, take this person to this place, to that person. You've been transferred. The person has been transferred. After the transfer, we have harboring from the law. So some of them, you are not the person who recruited, you are not the person who transported, but you were just told, oh, keep this person for me for this time frame. You have also played a part. Yes. So if you also find yourself in that, the law can, for lack of better word, catch you. And then after the harboring, we have trading or receipt. Like receipt is like the final destination where the person is going to. Yes, of people. And then if we come to the smuggling, first of all, let me treat the threat, abduction, the coercion, because nobody or no human being in the normal sense would agree for you to enslave them. No human being would agree for you to put them through inhuman means. Okay, so yes, sometimes some of them are defrauded, some of them are coerced, some of them are abducted. All these are the definition the law gives. And then sometimes some of these victims that we have, you see, most of them, the children especially, they don't have the financial means or the wherewithal to say, okay, I want to travel here, or okay, you say there's this opportunity here, I have the money to pay. So the person recruiting or the interested person in you being trafficked will say, okay, let me foot the bill. Okay, that's a red flag. Someone says, oh, let's travel to this country and go and work, but I'll pay for your transportation. Probably if they're securing you documents to travel with, I'll pay for them as well. It's a red flag that the general public should be aware of. So if we come to the same act, I want to treat the same act, section 6, we have duty to inform. I want the general public to know that we all owe ourselves the duty to be each other's keeper. So if you are a person out there who sees that someone is being trafficked, and sometimes the ways you can see that this person is being trafficked, some of them, they look so unlike themselves. Sometimes they look timid with the person they are with. You know, if a child is with their parent or someone they know, most of the time they are relaxed. Sometimes you see a child or someone with someone that, especially at the borders, at the airports, they are so timid. If you ask them a question, they can't even establish eye contact. They'll be looking at the person they are with to talk to you. Some of these are red flags that we, the general public or the general public out there, should take notice of. Okay, so under the law, we have the duty to inform. If you see something like this, like we say, if you see something, say something. If you don't, the law says that failure to report, you are aware someone is being trafficked and you fail to report, you can go to jail for 12 months per the law. Also, the general public, we should know that we have the duty to be each other's keepers, like I said. So you can arrest if you see that there's this child who is being trafficked and you can do something about it. Just if you feel the person is strong and you can't arrest the person, get someone to assist you, but make sure that when you arrest the person, immediately hand over to law enforcement person
agencies. DSI, you mentioned earlier the Accra Flower Road. Does your outfit know the routes these human traffickers normally use?
Okay, so I'll say yes, we do, and that's why we have our men on the ground. Most of these unapproved routes that they use, we have our men there 24/7 plying the routes, trying to rescue these victims. It's not just victims they use through the unapproved routes. There are other illegal things they do there. So yes, we have our men on the ground.
All right, thank you. I'd like to go on a short break, and when we're back, we'll continue with these key issues pertaining to human trafficking.
Okay.
Dear fellow Ghanaians, my name is ASI Elizabeth Sewa Kwating, and I'm from the Ghana Immigration Service, specifically the Migration Management Bureau, where we exist to provide you with reliable information on how you can travel safely. Now, today I'm on your screen to talk to you briefly about return and reintegration. The journey of return and reintegration after facing deportation is a transformative one, requiring support, understanding, and unity. The Ghana Immigration Service, through our sensitization expeditions, aim to shed light on this crucial process to ensure a smoother transition for our compatriots. Returning to Ghana after deportation can be a challenging one. It is essential to embrace those returning with empathy and compassion. Reintegration involves helping them rebuild their lives, finding employment, accessing healthcare, and reintegrating into their communities. Our government, with the help of various NGOs, offers support programs to assist returnees in their reintegration process. This includes vocational training, job placement services, financial guidance, and counseling to cope with the emotional and psychological aspects of returning. Together, we can foster a sense of belonging and provide opportunities for a fresh start for our fellow Ghanaians who have faced challenges of deportation. Let us stand united in creating a more inclusive and supportive society for all. They are people, let's embrace them. Now, if any of our returnees require assistance, kindly contact us on our numbers below. Safe travels and a warm welcome.
Thank you indeed. So, DSI Ms. Bao, DSI Diana Mensah mentioned earlier on you are aware of the routes that the human traffickers use. If your outfit is aware of the routes they use, why haven't you eliminated human trafficking completely by now? What is holding your outfit back?
Yes, thank you for the question, and good evening to our viewers and then listeners. It's an old crime that has been holding us for some time now. Very well, we know the roots, but this is a very complex crime or transnational crime, which can also be an internal one, of course. But knowing the roots doesn't amount to eliminating it, but we are doing our very best to reduce it. by making sure that perpetrators are brought to book, and then we only don't concern ourselves to jailing and arresting them alone. When we are able to disrupt what they are doing, we manage to foil whatever they were trying to do, it amounts to us fighting the crime. So the numbers of us jailing people or prosecuting people might be on the low, but we do a lot of interceptions, disruptions. I can even tell you that on Monday, just this Monday, 3 Nigerian girls were brought to Ghana here, and they were being trafficked to Ivory Coast. When they got to Ghana whilst in transit, somebody told them that, look, if you don't find a way of running away, they are going to traffic you to Ivory Coast, and they are going to force you into prostitution. So they managed to run away to the nearest so-called police station. They can't tell. But when they gave them shelter till the following day, they managed to run to one of the transport companies in Tudu. So apparently, because of these campaigns we normally do, we share our numbers. So they called us, and then we went, and we were able to disrupt it. We were not able to get the traffickers because they were not around. They normally send them, as Diana said. They have devised a way of going about it this time around. You will know the route, but you will not find the perpetrators or the traffickers with their victims. Mm-hmm. They will send them through transport companies. That is, there's vehicles that ply from Nigeria, Ghana to Ivory Coast. So in this instance, we didn't have any trafficker, but fortunately we were able to rescue them. And as we speak now, we have sent them back to Nigeria.
Wow.
Yes.
Tell us, in a few minutes, tell us a few of the shocking cases that you have prosecuted.
Yes, there are a lot of them, but I will just give you one who we even have a victim here. So what happened was that we had a complaint. We had a complaint from the victim's mom that apparently the daughter has been taken to Kurdistan, that is Iraq, to work as a maid servant. But the calls that are coming from the daughter and then the arrangement they had with the traffickers had changed, because they promised the lady that once she gets to Iraq, they are going to settle her up. She's a fashion designer, so they wanted to get a shop there for her, establish her for her to do the job. But when she got there, they decided to push her into a different thing altogether. They decided to make a maid servant, and she was working under inhumane conditions and whatever. Look, she eats, when she's telling you her story, so pathetic to the extent that she works for more than 18 to 20 hours a day. And whatever food that is there, she will have to sit down and let the masters all eat, and she will be eating out of what is left. Wow. If only there is some left. And she is made to go through a whole lot of inhumane treatment. And even the monies that she's supposed to be paid for that particular work she's doing wasn't coming. So at a point, the masters had to even tell her that, look, we've bought you. We have paid this kind of money to your masters.
That's what he said.
Yes. So whatever we want to do with you, we are going to do with you because we've paid. So if you are ready to get your freedom, then refund, pay that kind of money. I think it was in the region of $5,000 to $10,000, and they're asking for that money from that innocent lady. So because of that, they were using her the way they like, because they felt, that is why we are saying human trafficking is more or less another modern slavery. So they were using her at their own, whatever they want to do with her, they were using. So she had problems to the extent that they had to change about 3 or 4 houses for her. Wow. And in all the houses, she was going through inhumane treatment. So when the complaint came to us, we managed to speak to her discreetly. And then the mom came, we made a formal complaint, did everything. Then we were able to arrest the trafficker. When we picked up this lady, she was pushing her weight around. So the condition for her bail was that if she doesn't buy a ticket for the victim to come back to Ghana, she wasn't going to be granted bail. So in trying to get her freedom, she decided to buy a ticket for her to return, because she was saying that the contract that she had with her was for 2 years, and it wasn't up to 2 years. So because of that, she wouldn't budge. And we said, no, if you won't budge, we will not also budge. So she realized that she needed to be free, so she bought the ticket for the lady to return. When the lady returned, we spoke to her, welcomed her, gave her all the care we need to give her, even sheltered her. Then when we spoke to her, we told her we want to prosecute because we have all the evidence. If you look at the whole case, it is prosecutable. Are you ready to be our prosecution witness? And she said she agreed. So the case traveled for over 6 months. And then the woman was jailed for 8 years.
8 years.
As we speak now, she's in so on.
Wow.
Yes.
I want us to, we've heard from you, we've heard from DSI Diana Mensah. I would like to also hear from the victim herself. But before that, I would like us to go on another break. Then when we come back, we hear directly from her for her to describe her experience, because I believe that all our listeners, all our viewers will want to know what really happened so they can draw that connection and really know that human trafficking is indeed an issue that must be taken seriously and not lightly, that their lives really at risk. We'll go for a break, and when we're back, we hear directly from the victim.
Fellow Ghanaians, my name is ASI Elizabeth Sewa Kwating, and I'm from the Ghana Immigration Service, specifically the Migration Management Bureau, where we exist to provide you with reliable information on how you can travel safely. Now, today I'm on your screen to talk to you briefly about return and reintegration. The journey of return and reintegration after facing deportation is a transformative one, requiring support, understanding, and unity. The Ghana Immigration Service, through our sensitization expeditions, aim to shed light on this crucial process to ensure a smoother transition for our compatriots. Returning to Ghana after deportation can be a challenging one. It is essential to embrace those returning with empathy and compassion. Reintegration involves helping them rebuild their lives, finding employment, accessing healthcare, and reintegrating into their communities. Our government, with the help of various NGOs, offers support programs to assist returnees in their reintegration process. This includes vocational training, job placement services, financial guidance, and counseling to cope with the emotional and psychological aspects of returning. Together, we can foster a sense of belonging and provide opportunities for a fresh start for our fellow Ghanaians who have faced challenges of deportation. Let us stand united in creating a more inclusive and supportive society for all. They are people, let's embrace them. Now, if any of our returnees require assistance, kindly contact us on our numbers below. Safe travels and a warm welcome. Thank you.
And you're welcome back. We're going to go talking directly to the victim. She has been through a lot. She is the one that experienced everything we've been talking about. So it's only right and it's only best if you hear it directly from her mouth. But for her safety and for the safety of all those that she knows, we're going to keep her anonymous. You are not going to be seeing her face and you will not be able to know her name. So I will be, for the sake of this interview, I will be referring to her as victim. Victim, I hope you're doing well. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, sir.
You fine?
Yeah.
So please tell all those listening and our viewers, can you share with us how you were lured to become a victim of human trafficking? What happened?
Okay, thank you for the question. I'm a young girl as a fashion designer, owning my own shop, working, very happy with my work and content with what I do. One fateful day, my shop owner came to me and was like, "You sew very well, and I have a son outside abroad, and I would like you to sew something for my son. Since I do unisex, I sew men and women stuffs." So I did about 10 shirts for her for the son, and then he shipped the things to the son. So after the things went to the son, he said, "Oh, he's happy with my work. My outfits looked very good on him and all that. So he would like to bring me to where he is outside the country." So the woman came back to me and then said his son said there is a company outside the country that needs recruitment for fashion designers. So she likes me very well as a daughter, and she thinks if I go and work outside the country, I can make more money. Because Ghana here, you work, you will not make as much as you want. But outside there, you do less and then you get more. And so, okay. So the reason why I even accepted her offer was because she's an elderly person and I know she can't deceive me. And she also took me as a daughter and I knew she didn't do me bad. That's why I accepted it. But before that, she told me this thing she's doing for me, taking me outside the country, she wouldn't like me to tell anybody about it. Because where we are, the people, they gossip a lot. So I thought she was doing something good for me. So I never told anybody around me. She even told me, not even my mom. And I said, okay. So I was also happy because I was thinking I'm going abroad. So I accepted her offer. So she came to me again and then she was like, we have to do the blood test and my passport and all that. So we went through all those process. So I was there about a month or two and then she said my visa is in. So any moment she will take me out. But before then she was like, because she likes me, she'll fit all my bills. She'll pay everything for me. So when I get there and I work for about 3 months, she would add her own money to it, and then after working with the company for some time, she herself and then the son will get me a shop on my own, and then I will work. And I said okay. So what the vision was very nice and interesting. So I said, oh, this one likes me, pa. So that's how come I accepted her offer. So when the visa came, I think about a week later, and then I prepared for the traveling. And then before we will start even the journey to the airport, she went ahead of me to a particular junction because she doesn't want people to see me alongside with her. She went ahead before I came to meet her, and then we went to the airport. But before we get to the airport, we also picked some girls alongside the road, about a lot of girls, about 7 or so, including me, and then we went. So when we went, everybody, we were all happy and all that. Let me buy this before going. She said no, the company will feed all my bills.
Wow.
They will give me my accommodation, my food, my transport, my insurance and everything. So I was very convinced in what she said. And then so when we got to the airport with we took our flight, and then we took Caron, what do you call it, Emirates, and then we got to Caron. When we got to Caron, I think we spent a day, and then the same night we took Egypt airline, and then we arrived at our Bill airport. So when we got to the airport, we were waiting. They said the company officers will come for us. Everybody was happy. So when we got there, and then we were there about 2 to 3 hours, and then a man came, a fair man came, a white man came, and then took everybody's passports. I was like, to me, I knew, if you are traveling and your passport is taken from you, then that means there is something wrong.
Yeah.
Instantly, I was very afraid because, no, I knew there was something wrong, but I was still hopeful. So the passport was taken to us. They sent us to a particular room, I think 2-bedroom apartment. When we got there was a lot of girls. They were not looking good at all. So we that came were very scared. So when we got there, immediately they took some of us to a lab hospital for our blood to be tested. Reason being that was that they want to find out whether you are pregnant or not, because the Arabians, they don't like foreign pregnant females there. So when I got there, for me, I was very unfortunate. I wasn't pregnant. Myself and another lady, I think we were 4. When we went through the test and we were safe, no pregnancy, then they transported us to another city. Another city, which is Suleiman. Yes, still in Iraq, but they transported us to another city. So they took us to Suleiman, which is their office, another office of their own. When we got there, we met another girls over there. They were not also looking good. But before they would take us to Suleiman, the man the old woman who took me, who sent me outside the country, the one who he said was his son, I realized he wasn't his son. He was working with him. So he came and then he was like, they'll format all our phones. They don't want us to contact our relatives.
Why?
I don't know. Because of how the treatment was going on around them, they don't want the victims' relative to know about it. So when you get there, they'll inform you about everything they'll do to you. I was like, God. So we were praying. So when we went to Suleiman, we were locked up in a room. I think one room with toilet and a bath. All of us are in the room. Though some of us were sleeping on the bed, some of us were on the floor. And then the only thing they give us is rice. We eat rice in the morning, and then sometimes in the evening. If we have more rice, we eat rice in the morning, rice in the evening. With oil and tin tomatoes, with salt. They don't add anything to it for us.
No meat. So
No
the food
meat.
was bad.
The food was bad.
Wow.
So when you are tired of eating the rice, then I think you will not eat. You just drink water and then you sleep. So when we got there, I think we got there on Wednesday. For me, I was very fortunate that same Sunday, I had a family. And what the family do is that when the people come, they will line us, the girls, up. And then the family who wants a help will pick. They'll look at you and then they will pick. And then when they pick you, then they'll prize you. I don't know how, if I'm
It's more like slavery.
Exactly. So when they, maybe, I don't know whether it's luck or what. They'll just, when somebody likes you, let me use it like that. When somebody likes you, pick you, and then they'll ask you how much. So when the person picks you, then they'll negotiate with the officers over there, and then they say 1,000. Someone will say, well, that is small. I don't know what they do, but
so
I
they
know
were literally selling you
exactly. That's what they do.
like goods.
Exactly. So they will tell the family that after the family have paid over you, they'll give the family the instructions how to go about you. So what they tell the family, the family is not supposed to give you your phones, because definitely they know the families will maltreat us and it will get back to our families. So they will take our phones from us. But me, it's unfortunate that I was very lucky because Wednesday before Sunday, their holiday is Friday. They are Muslims, so their holiday is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's when they start work. So it was that Sunday that they were about to format our phones, and that very Sunday morning, someone picked me. So they weren't able to format my phone. So when the family came for me and everything, they told the family this and this and that. They told the family you are supposed to use your phone only 2 hours or something. And even that 2 hours, you are supposed to call. They'll keep three or something, three relatives on the three relatives numbers on the phone that you are supposed to call. So mine wasn't formatted. So I went working. I went to the first house. It was very, very, very bad.
What exactly did they make you do?
When I got to that first house, I think a whole 2 months or so, whatever they eat, they don't touch the dishes. So you are good because they don't have help at that moment. Whatever they cook or whatever thing they use is there. Their clothes, everything was there. I wake up 5 a.m. Sometimes sleep 2 a.m.
5 a.m. to 2 a.m.
And when you are sitting, they ask you, why are you sitting? They've paid. The money they've paid over you can even buy a car. So you can't waste their money.
So just 3 hours of sleep.
Exactly. They use you wash dishes. Sometimes they will ask you to wash the buildings.
The building.
As if you are bathing a baby. You wash buildings throughout. Clean the floors, everything, wash. And then you wash cars, the gardens and everything.
Only you.
You'll be standing throughout the day. So I was very tired and I said, no, I can't do this anymore. So I went back to the office. And then after the first house, they took me to another house. Even that one was it was worse. That one, when you work throughout. And the funny thing is, they will not even give you food to eat.
Then how are you supposed to work if they don't give you food to eat?
They will not even give you food to eat. So sometimes if they are not around, you just have to hide. And there are cameras everywhere. So places where you can escape camera is the bathroom, washrooms. That's when sometimes you take bread to the bathroom and then you go and eat, hide, and then you come back. That place too, I work throughout. I don't know if it's something that they've planned. The people have planned to treat people, foreigners, I don't know. That place too, I work throughout, no sleep. I got fed up and then I went back to the office. They sent me to the third house. And then as for the third house, it was an old woman with cancer. I think there is a liquid flowing from her tummy. So each day you see the sore.
Wow.
I've never gone to the nursing school before, but I have to be treating her sore. Food too, you will not eat. The woman goes through pain a lot, so she doesn't sleep. So anytime she is in pain, she will call you. She will call you anytime she is in pain. She will call you for you to be massaging her. So if she doesn't sleep, you also don't sleep.
So when you went through all of this?
Yes. And during that sleepless night throughout the night that she doesn't, sometimes the woman only sleep 2 hours or 1 hour in the night. So throughout the night you are with her. She doesn't work, she doesn't do anything. So you'll be changing her pampers, her poo-poo, everything. Myself alone. And even the next day that you think that, oh, you've been with her, so during the day she's a little bit relieved, and then you also have your nap. Then that's where the family too will come and call you. Why are you sleeping? You are supposed to do this. You are supposed to cook. You are supposed to do this.
So you went through all of this.
Yes.
How were you rescued?
I was rescued. I called one of the ladies. One of the ladies came to Ghana through an NGO. So she called me and I asked her how she was able to come back to Ghana. And then she said an NGO helped. There were a number of girls that were helped. But for me, since I'm alone, it will be difficult for the NGO to help me. So my mom has to go to the immigration. That's where I called my mom. and then she went to the immigration, and then the immigration helped me. Yeah.
Wow. So during that time, you didn't have the opportunity to see or talk to your family, like during that period. You couldn't talk to any of your family members.
They give the third house. They give me my phones on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime they give me that phone on Sunday, I make very good use of the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to my family and tell them what I am going through.
So they were aware.
They were aware.
But you had gone without letting them know. How did they feel when they saw you returning? You were rescued. How was their reaction?
They were very happy. Very, very, very happy. Because in some cases, when you go through the trauma in the houses and then you are coming back to the office, the family you are with, they sometimes inject you.
Inject you with what?
With, I don't know, madness, injections. The reason why they do that is because of how they've treated you. They don't want you to go and then
tell others.
For me, my case like this, they will eat I think a family, they were very big, a large family. They will eat, and then what they eat, that's what they gather and give to you to eat. Sometimes when you are very angry and you feel like eating, you eat. Sometimes I don't feel like eating it at all, because if I see how they put their hands in the food, I don't eat them. But one fateful day, I was in the kitchen working, and then I blacked out, and then they took me to the hospital, and then they gave a lot of drip and drugs for me to take, and I told them, I don't know where the wisdom came, but I was afraid. I've heard of a case that a girl was given treatment, and then when she came back to Ghana, she got mad. Some two were not able to be the same again. So I just told them my religion don't accept drugs. That's how come I was able to escape the drips and those things.
Wow. You've been through a lot. There are so many people. I can see that tears you are holding back. There are so many people listening to you right now who are thinking of trying to go to greener pastures. They've been sold this idea. What advice, from your perspective and what you've gone through, what advice would you give them?
The advice I'll give them is, if you don't have your own money to travel, don't travel. If you don't have money to foot your bills, don't travel. And if anyone tells you, I'll pay all your bills for you to travel, it's not true. It's a lie. It's a lie. And if you want to travel and you find it difficult, I think you can go to the immigration to find out if the process you are going through is genuine before you travel.
Oh, thank you. DSI, Ms. Bao, I'd like to end with you. Please, what advice would you give to the youth?
Yes, the advice is you have to travel safely. You see, with her chilling story, it's giving the youth a perspective, a picture, a clearer picture of what we have been saying. That if you don't do it right, these are the consequences. This is what you do. Despite luck played a very major role in her rescue, but she was a little bit tact and smart. Because, look, for us to be able to convince the court, for us to be able to gain prosecution, largely she played a major role, because we need to adduce evidence to support the fact that she was being trafficked and maltreated. So how do we convince the courts here that this story that she's giving out is true? Because this one is just people listening, but you need to convince the judge that she did a lot. This phone that she's talking about, that is where we got almost 80% of the evidence we used in doing the prosecution. She's saying the truth. Look, there's no free lunch anywhere. when you are promised such juicy contracts and what have you, oh, don't worry, from even your passport, you are not going to pay anything or what have you. Look, you will definitely give it to you with their right hand and use a painful left hand to collect it from you. So you just have to be very careful how. Look, we don't frown on traveling. We don't frown on migration. Migration has its own benefits, including economy. But when it is not done properly, these are the consequences. And we were so happy and grateful to her that she was very smart. That money she's talking about, look, she repatriated first 3 months of her salary to this said woman. So what we did was that she was able to generate the Western Union receipts that was sent to the woman. So this thing was that the woman was denying it. So it was a word against us.
So now
we had to dig into her phone and we were able to get the receipt. We went to the banks where she withdrew the money. We were able to trace it. And then we even got the forms she used to fill for the money, the denominations that were given to her, what have you. And that made our case. So even if, let's say, you happen to fall foul, you know, I always tell people that, look, even myself speaking right now can be a victim of human trafficking and smuggling. Because if the offer is juicy, I will go for it. But the only thing is that when you happen to find yourself in, because sometimes it happens, when it happens, be smart. Try and adduce and keep certain evidence when there is the need for you to be saved. One, we can save you. And two, if there is the need for us to prosecute, we will prosecute and prosecute very. But the only thing is that we will not discourage traveling. Migration has its own benefits.
Thank you very much, DSI.
You're welcome.
So for all those listening, all those watching, you heard the story. You know what human trafficking can do to an individual. For the sake of yourself and your loved ones, if you sense anything like this happening to someone you know, or you are in any situation, feel free to go to the Ghana Immigration Service with any information and they will help you out. Sadly, that brings us to the end of the Kristocentric news. I'm sure for more episodes, they will be coming to give us more information pertaining to human smuggling and human trafficking, and we'll be hearing more real life stories from people who have been affected. My name is YEBOAH Edwin Takyi, your Christian news anchor. Now, always remind you that God is not done with you. Your best is yet to come. Please enjoy the rest of your day.
So good, what no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. Jesus, you are so good. Da da da. Jesus, are so good. What no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. Say.
Jesus, you are so good.
So good.
Jesus, you are so good. What no man
Can do, you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me. What no man can do,
you have done for me. What no man can do, you have done for me.
oh Jesus,
Jesus, you are so good.
you are so good.
Jesus, you are so
What
good.
no man
can do, you have done for me. What no man can
What
do,
no man can
you
do,
have done for
what
me.
no man can do.
You have done for me what no man can do. You have done for me.
Jesus, Jesus,
You are so
you
good.
are so good.
Jesus, you are so good.
Hey.
What no man can do. You have done for me what no man can
What
do.
no man can do,
You have done for
what
me
no man can do.
You have done for me what no man can do. You have done for
What
me
no man can do.
You have done for me what no man can do. You have
What
done
no,
for
what
me
no, what
what
no
no man can do. You have done for me what no man can do. You have done for me.
We bless your name. We thank you, Holy Spirit. Come and take your place. Jesus, you are so good to me. Jesus, you are so good to me. Jesus, you are so good to me. Yeah. In all circumstances, Jesus, you are so good to me.
In all circumstances, in all circumstances. Oh,
Jesus, you are so good to me.
in all circumstances, in all circumstances. Oh,
Dependable, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes my way, you are still God. Intentional, intentional God. 'Cause everything is working out for my goal. Dependable, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes my way, you are still God. Whoa, yo. Intentional, intentional God. Hey, everything is working out for my goal. Say,
dependable, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes my way, you are still God.
you are intentional God.
Intentional God.
'Cause everything is
Everything is working out for my good.
Dependable God.
Dependable, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes my way, you are still God.
You are intentional God.
Intentional God.
Hey, hey, everything much peace and joy. You're amazing. You make my life feel brand new. You're amazing. You make my life feel brand new. Jesus, you love me too much, oh.
Too much, oh, excess love, oh.
Hey, Jesus, you love me too much, oh.
Too much, oh, excess love, oh.
Jesus, you love me too much, oh.
Too much, oh, love, oh.